Hello YouTubers, 0 to 100 adventure, and welcome to my channel. Those of you that are new, please consider subscribing, as I am going to be posting up a lot more reviews like this review of the Triumph 1200 Tiger, and we're also going to take this baby for a ride, for a test ride later on. So guys, I am quite excited to be doing this. This here is the all new 2018 version model. Let's say they're now bringing out 6 different bikes in the 2018 lineup, so I am not going to go through all the differences. There's basically 2 different bikes, yeah, broken up into 6 different categories. Yeah, it is the XR, which is the road biased version, and then there is the XC, which is the more off-road or country cross touring version. Right now in the XC lineup there are 2 different models. This is the XCA, which is top of the range, and then you get 4 different road biased versions. The XR, which is also a low version, and for the seat height and so forth. So I do like what they've done with the ergonomics of this bike. It's an upgrade to the last one. It looks a lot nicer. Most of the changes, the frame stays the same. Most of the changes to this bike is with the electronics, right? They've made a major upgrade and overall to the electronics of this bike, so it is now a lot more modern, has a lot more of the gadgetry, electronic suspension. It's semi-electronic. There's a new dashboard, fully color dashboard with all the information at your fingertips. What else? It is lighter. They've improved the of course swing arm and shaft. It's the final drive on this machine is shaft, so they've made it a lot lighter than the previous model. It is full LED in front. What else? Basically the frame stays the same. They've adjusted some of the aesthetics of the bike. The engine as well has become lighter. They've done some modifications there, a lot more powerful. The engine is a inline 3-cylinder. It puts out around 139 brake horsepower, and I think this differs slightly, up to 141 brake horsepower on the top of the range model. Yeah, so this is the bike itself. Let's take a walk around. Beautiful machine. The front is really great. One thing that I love about this motorbike is that it has got a fully adjustable windscreen, and I think that it is the only bike in its class, so adventure bike in its class, that has this option, and you can do this on the fly, which is brilliant. Yeah, so lights in front, all fully LED flickers, front lights, high low beams, and the off-road adventure style spotlights, all LED. Adjustable windscreen on the fly, very, very good. Final drive of course is shaft. Seating position on this bike is slightly raised for the back. It's a ride-by-wire throttle response, very good. The engine has got an incredible roar, and you can feel it under the seat. I like that in this bike. Yeah, it gives it a lot of character. Inline engines like to be revved, and this one here under the seat, you can feel it, you can feel that roar. It's exciting, it's really, really nice. So I will go into the details on the display and some of the features that it's got. It's fully adjustable, always nice to have final drive shaft. Yeah, it's got these massive foot pegs. So the XCA at least has got these massive foot pegs, which is nice for doing off-road. It's got these nice crash protectors. Right, let's go into some of the details here, guys, of this bike, and let's start basically front to back. Yeah, so front to back, it sports a 120/70 19-inch tire in the front. It's got 305mm dual floating discs in front with Brembo 4-piston calipers. It looks like it is linked to the rear brake pedal. Of course, ABS nowadays all standard. Spoked wheels on the XCA version. The R version has the aluminium alloy or alloy wheels. So the off-road versions, the XC, has spoked wheels, right? It's got a very nice sump protector there, as you can see, for the off-road option. It doesn't look like it has much ride height for this type of bike. It looks like it's quite low, but sufficient. Yes, again, when you ride these big adventure bikes, you're not going to do hardcore motocross off-road jumping and log climbing, etc. It's the people that buy these bikes, like myself, buy this so they're not limited to only roads. Yes, if you get the occasional dust road, you can easily take it when on tour, and that's what these bikes are mostly designed for. Yes, you can push them harder if you've got the experience. You can do the drifting, you can do the cornering, you can push them quite hard, you can even do jumps, but this is mostly for big adventure. I would say 85 to 90% road, and then the occasional off-road. And in my case, I probably do 95% and 98% road, and the rest off-road. Yeah, back tire sports a 160/70 17-inch, 19-inch in the front, 17-inch in the back. Okay, it's got a Arrow special parts exhaust. It does come with a quick shifter, guys, so those of you that are interested, the quick shifter is a nice option on this bike. So let's see what the display has to offer. Again, I do like this white version. I do like the way they've done this. Now again, most of the modifications on this bike has been with the electronics. It has keyless entry. You switch it on by pressing this power button over here. It goes on, and as you can see there, it's a full color TFT screen, and you've got a lot of customization here on the screen. For example, this is now on screen adjust. You've got a little joystick lever here, and you can change different settings. For example, it is now on screen adjust, and you can see that it is done automatically. Now the windscreen is offering really good wind protection. Over on the lowest setting, the wind kind of hits your helmet full on, so you get nice, you're able to cool off from on a hot summer's day. The ventilations and everything, it's all that wind in your helmet. And if you then want no wind buffeting to the helmet, you basically would then raise it to its full position, which is here, and the wind deflection from the windscreen is enough to get it over your helmet, and you don't feel anything, which is really nice. This is one of the bikes in its class that I can honestly say has a really good windscreen and wind protection, better than the BMW. better than the Cross Tourer, and better definitely than the KTM, which in my opinion was the worst. This one here is the best that I've ridden out of those 4 bikes, yeah, and they're all in the same class. So if I scroll here, screen adjust up and down, I've got here the suspension adjustment, so I can put it on normal, for example, yeah, which is a little bit stiffer than comfort. The suspension on this bike, already I've ridden it out here, it's very comfortable, it's very good. And of course you can adjust it. I've got it on a little bit normal. If you want to do more twisties and more aggressive riding and cornering, I would then put it on sport, which is just moving the joystick up and down, and I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, that is how you adjust. If we move forward then, okay, so you press the button and it confirms, so you can see here the time, total average kilometers, speed, trip 1, you've got fuel consumption, 6.10 to the 100, you've got to the next, you've got your range, and I believe this is when you're riding, so actual fuel consumption, not average, right? Let's start it up. Alright, it's telling me that the key fob is out of range, and that's kind of weird because it's right here, yeah, and that's weird, it's saying check manuals, but okay, let's not waste any more time here. The screen is giving you all of the information. Now it's got 6 different riding modes, and I suppose you can click here to see the riding modes. You've got a simpler display to get into the settings quicker if you don't want to use all of the navigation. You just press home and you can see here I've got riding modes, and if I then select it, it gives me, it's got rider, rain, road, sport, off-road, off-road pro, and then it's got the rider is your custom settings. Okay, so this is the screen. It's visible, very well displayed. It gives you all of the information. Sitting position on this bike, it's a comfortable upright position. Nothing wrong with the position. The seat is wider than most of the adventure bikes in its class. It's really comfortable. It's got the same kind of gel foam feeling. The pegs for me are just in front of the shin. Most bikes it's at the back. Now it does fold. I suppose you can put your feet down in the standing position. The pegs are just in front of my shin there. Knees for gear changes, very comfortable, natural, not too high up, but comfortable sitting position. Handlebars are nice and wide. Clutch, very, very soft, very, very smooth, silky smooth, no problems with the clutch. Even putting it into first, that was because of the stand being up. Pick up the stand, putting it into first, it's got a bit of a clunk, but nothing major. It's got quick shifts up and down, you just need to release the throttle. This home screen here, it's got cruise control, it's got heated seats, it's got heated grips, the horn, passing beam. This is the kill switch and start switch, hazards and lock bike, electrically adjusted suspension, preload and compression, monoshock in the back. Really nothing else to say about this bike. It's got a 20-litre tank. It weighs, I believe, 242 kilos. Let's take her for a ride. Mirrors are nice. They've got some styling, easily adjustable, very good view of what's going on behind you. Heated seats, good option for those long cold rides. That being said, let's take this baby for a ride. The Triumph 1200 Tiger, and it's got a nice engine rumble underneath your seat. That's so exciting. I like that a lot. Very good brakes. So, like I said, I'm 1.8 meters tall. My standing position is with the legs just behind the rider's foot pegs, and I can show you over there. It's not uncomfortable, but it's kind of there. It goes into neutral quite easily. The controls are all at your fingertips. Into first gear. Not a big clunk. Revved it a little bit too much there. The bike feels very light to maneuver. I wouldn't say that this bike weighs 242 kilograms. So the bike itself is really easy to maneuver. It's not too high. I think the seat height on this is 835 to 855, so it is adjustable seat. So for me, it's almost flat foot. It's got plenty power. Let's test the cornering abilities of this bike. I am right now in third gear. A nice lean. Very easy to, oh yeah, oh, this bike is nice. Oh yeah, okay, that was incredible. Nothing to be surprised. This bike delivers 139 brake horsepower. I'm now in fourth gear. Again, cornering this bike for such a big bike, for such a heavy bike, is very effortless. And I'm going to do that again just to prove my point. I usually do these four corners, and I can tell you now that this bike responds very nicely to the rider. It's not a difficult bike to ride. It does not feel heavy at all. I would say that it's even easier to maneuver than my own cross tourer. Easy to flick, easy to lean. Look at that. Third gear. Plenty power, gears silky smooth. I'm in fourth gear, approaching nice lean angle. Oh yeah, nothing wrong. Look at the lean on this. So yeah, I'm surprised already with this bike. The Triumph 1200 Tiger. Sweet engine rumble, sweet engine rumble. Lovely motor. I like the inline motors. They're exciting because they require you to rev. And you hear the characteristics of the motor. Again, the cornering abilities and the leaning abilities of this bike is superb. Feels natural, feels good, and you can easily flick it from side to side. I like what they've done with this bike. Very, very natural. Very, very nice. Happy with that. Scores high marks with cornering ability. So let's do a little bit of city riding. The sitting position on this bike is good. It's got really big foot pegs. Again, the windscreen gives you very good wind protection. Okay, switch off the flicker. Oh, sorry. It's a little bit confusing, the flicker, switch and the joystick, because they are quite close to each other. And again, this is something that you can get used to, because the one is a joystick. And I'm going to adjust the screen down. Oh yeah. Alright, again, you see I've got the switches mixed up. That's the down position giving me the maximum wind, and it's nice because I can already feel the wind into my airflows in my helmet. And I like the fact that it can be adjusted on the fly. In city riding, this could be a good commuter. For a 1200 engine, the bike itself feels quite small, quite easy to maneuver. I wouldn't say this has the feel of a big adventure bike. It is a big adventure bike, but it does not feel as big as it looks. So it's perceiving and giving a different impression. It's got a very good mid-range and very good throttle response. The ride-by-wire throttle response on this is very good. I mean, you can see there, I just twisted slightly in the third gear and I'm off. Climbs to 100 in no time, and even in fourth, the power is there when you need it. So I'm not even going to comment further on this engine. This engine is a beaut. This engine is a beaut. And I love the characteristic of the inline cylinders. The rumble from this engine is incredible. So you can't go wrong with this engine. So I'm in third gear right now, and let's say I want to use the quick shifter. Just deaccelerate and into gear. And you can even do it without deaccelerating into gear. When deaccelerating, you can just tap it, you hardly feel the difference. So I'm in third gear, and I'm going to deaccelerate into second. Yeah, you don't even feel it. No clutch, just tap it. The same thing with the upshift. You don't even have to deaccelerate. You have to deaccelerate when you're downshifting, of course, but when you're shifting up, you don't even need to deaccelerate. It just goes into gear as smooth as silk. As smooth as silk, I tell you. So I like that option. I'm not going to try the different ride modes. I think that we all know the difference with the ride modes. So it adjusts the traction control, it adjusts the suspension. So on road, of course, the suspension is plush. Now I do like the suspension on this bike. It's perfect. It dips a little bit, but again, you can adjust this on the fly if you want a little bit more of a sportier ride. Then of course you would put it on sports and it wouldn't dip. But this is on comfort mode right now, and it's really comfortable. Display visibility, nice and big digital numbers in front of you. You can see the rev counter, you can see the fuel gauge, you can see the ambient temperature. You can flick through with a joystick quite easily. All in all, guys, the bikes over the years have been refined. This is an example of that refinement. I mean, this is perfect. This is perfect. I mean, they've figured it all out. Windscreen, the best I've experienced on this style of motorbike, on a big adventure bike. Look at this. How effortless to get the wind screen up. This is a good example of the refinement over the years. They've just improved it so much that it's hard to fault. I will ride it a little bit more and then try to give you guys some pros and cons, but I'm finding it difficult to find anything that I don't like about this bike. If I have to say and complain about something, that would have to be the foot pegs digging into my shin. But it's different again from rider to rider. Now you know that these reviews are all subjective. You might not like something that I like, you might not appreciate the bike, so it's all subjective. And I try to be as open and honest as possible with these test rides and reviews. And I can tell you now, there's not much that I can fault on this bike. It's in neutral right now. It's comfortable. There's two things. The foot pegs, I would definitely complain about. And the seat is a little bit wider than I would prefer. Other than that, man, bike is well balanced, well centered, plenty power. That's quick shifter. It's like having pedals. It's like having pedals. The quick shifter is great. You don't have to press the clutch. So it makes you think, why even have the clutch? I'm 1.8 and I'm on the ball of my feet, so I'm not completely flat-footed, but I'm not tiptoey either. So I'm on the ball of my feet, which is good. And I'm going to do now a standing up position to see how it feels. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Oh, this feels so natural. Like a true off-road machine. I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised. I've got to be open and honest with you and tell you that, again, this surprised me. This standing position is so comfortable. It gives me confidence in maneuvering it off-road. The weight is down on the handlebars where you need it doing off-road. Visibility is great, comfortable. So I would reckon that this thing must score very high off-road as well. Very high off-road as well. Wow. Triumph, Tiger, 1200. Great job. This is an impressive machine. Okay, so I've got another dislike, another con, and maybe a big one. I do feel the engine heat on this bike between my legs a lot more than any other bike in its class. So that is definitely a con. When accelerating and pushing this baby like I just did, and even riding it now, I feel a heat element, a big heat element coming from the engine. And this is really bad between the knees and even up into the crutch area. So that is a little bit of a con, and I would say probably the worst con, because on a hot day, yeah, it's not so good. You ride a bike, you can get cooled down, but even doing 170, you feel that heat more so than any of the other bikes. Again, this is just subjective. Come on, go, 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 go. All right, come on, go, 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 go. So thank you guys for watching. Help a guy grow his channel. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. There's going to be plenty more reviews and test rides like this one. Leave your comments below. I try to answer all of my comments. So if you have questions, go ahead. If I don't know the answer, I definitely will look it up for you and try to give you an answer. Let me know what you're looking for on my channel, and I will try and help. Thank you for watching 0 to 100 Adventure. Peace out, ride safe, and see you soon. Ciao.
Thank you for watching my channel 0 to 100 Adventure, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe and share to help a guy grow his channel. And if you want to watch more of my videos, please follow the links to the right. Thank you and hope to see you soon.